Huge news, Roy. The C1D Paintball team has a podcast. Yes, that's right, Dick. Wild bunch, those C1D fellas. Tune in every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for an amazing podcast.
Dad, come on.
Yeah. It's 1D. Ha-ha. C1D when the signal go live. Yeah. C1D when the signal go live. 4 Mike Sharp where the field chalk thrive. Mike run the helm, keep the tempo precise. Rigging down woodsball moves like dice. C1D when the broadcast speaks. Andrew Connor, Jeff and Mike every week. From the woods to the mic, let the whole world see. Real paintball talk on the C1D. Connor see lanes through the brush and the trees. Calling out flanks with a strategist ease. Andrew drop jokes while the old tails breeze. Stories from the woods ride out on the breeze. Jeff step forward with Combo G in the scene. Years in the mud where the players get mean. Walk through the brush where the bunkers on beat. Jeff still rocking paint stained fatigues. C1D when the broadcast speak. Andrew Connor, Jeff and Mike every week. From the woods to the mic, let the whole world see. Real paintball talk on the C1D. C1D when the signal go live. 4 Mike Sharp where the field talk thrive. Mike run the helm, keep the tempo precise. Breaking down woods ball moves like dice. C1D when the C1D. C1D when the broadcast speaks. Andrew Connor, Jeff and Mike every week. From the woods to the mic, let the whole world see. Real paintball talk on the C1D.
Hey there! Welcome to the C1D Paintball Podcast. I am Andrew. I am joined by 2 of my 3 regular cohorts. Jeff is out this evening, choosing his mistress, choosing to work and make money for his family instead of, Come on. Boo. I got Connor. How you doing, Connor? Connor from way next door in the room next to me right now.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm tired. I'm happy to be here, though.
Happy to be here. Mike, how are you tonight, Mr. Producer?
I am good. I am also tired. I squeezed in like a 20-minute nap before the show, so that was nice. The dog woke me up. But here I am. Here we are.
And the special guest, just for St. Patrick's Day, we got right from Dublin. We got Mikey.
Mikey.
We got Michelangelo. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Good. A little hungover, I'm not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Like I'm
Sundays
like,
are good for you.
like almost like I'm kind of through it there, but it was a bit of a brutal day.
Nice.
Not gonna lie.
Not all right. Well, I tell you what. I've got my C1D tea as I normally have, and I've got myself Guinness tonight. Worked pretty well. I had the Guinness with what's the last time I was here? I had a Guinness. It was the General. That's who it was. It was Tonka. So the Guinness worked well. So there we go. And you guys have probably heard us talk about Mikey before. If you listen to the podcast, he's been a member of the squad for 3 years, and he is also an actual for real. Mikey's volume is a bit low, says our quality control lead, Chris, with Explore Paintball. So
You're good.
He's good. He says. I mean,
What's up, Dad?
All these platforms everywhere. My God, it's just too much for an old guy like me.
Oh, you're fine, my man.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
we are going to take, we just talked about Mikey. We made one of those cartoons, one of our first cartoons, Mikey Saved the Day as Michelangelo. That was the infamous Cowabunga motherfucker.
Go Cowabunga for reals.
And look, we're actually a week from now on the podcast. Mike Nichols, good evening, sir.
Big Daddy.
There you go. There, you said that you now Mike Nichols Jr. has an alibi. I was on the podcast. My dad watched me.
Exactly.
Mikey, we don't really talk a lot of speedball on this show. And we're kind of, a few of us are like speedball illiterate. I appreciate the game, but I can't play it myself because of, age and skill and lack therefore of. But Mikey went to Florida 2 weekends ago to play with his team. Texas. I'm sorry. Did I say Florida?
Yeah.
Did I say Florida? Okay. I'm sorry. I apologize to Texas, assuming that I've called Texas man Florida man. And you know what? We've always talked about, hey, let's have Mikey come in, talk a little speedball, or just talk about life on a paintball team and that. C1D is a paintball team. It's a recball team. Let's talk about when you talk, if you're talking to a sports, do you know any sports? Somebody comes up to you. Well, I used to play hockey. I play paintball now. And they'll automatically think of speedball as opposed to me just leaning on a tree in the woods, which is what I do. So, I'm open to it, Mike, Connor, if you guys want to ask some questions, or Mikey, just tell us, like, what was this tournament, and give us the dirt and the scoop, because, this isn't 60 Minutes. It's more like a current affair, if those shows mean anything to you. We want to hear the dirt. Okay. So entertain us, young man. Oh, that's what I was going to say. A week from now, we'll be talking about Break the Ice, because in 6 days, we're going to be out there with more snow dropping on the ground, and probably hot coffee, maybe a cold drink in the clubhouse will be where most of us will spend time. But Mikey, lead us into the last paintball this weekend.
For me, anyways, well, it wasn't really a tournament. It was more like it was more of just like buddy's birthday, organize a weekend. So, like, long story short, where we went is like a speedball mecca per se. Build it and they will come kind of type vibe. So it's called Paintball Fit, and just kind of use some pictures, just like an idea. I think there are like up to 5 fields at this point, like 5 speedball fields. Wow. And one of the speedball fields is even like they have like one. So most of the time when I say a speedball field is 5v5. So they have another 2 speedball. So you have 3 speedball fields that are like regular, and then they have one that's a 7v7 field, and then one that's a 10v10 field. So it's like just their facilities in general are just like a lot larger than what we get over here up north. And then just the teams that are like, so like we're just going there to play paintball. And then I hit up Johnny, one of, I guess, like the owners of the field. So I'm not going to say yes, he's the owner of the field. And they actually gave us like a lot of hospitality. They're pretty awesome guys. And nice. He ended up creating like an X-ball practice kind of thing on Sunday. So instead of it being like an actual tournament, it was more like a practice tournament kind of scenario. So like instead of just like running random like 1v1 games, like just running a point and then seeing who wins the point and it resets. Yeah, pretty much. And then so instead of just like running the point and then resets, whatever, it's basically you're playing X-ball mode. So there's 15 minutes. And then within these 15 minutes, whichever team scores more points ends up winning the game per se. So you're not there just like, so like, let's say you're down like 2-0, you're tending to run more of an aggressive play, whereas the other team is running more of like defensive play, right?
Yeah.
So it really, there's a lot of strategy that comes into it. So it was kind of cool that Johnny, on Sunday, he organized that like X-ball scenario type of thing for us. And I don't know, the weather being like nice, it was like 17 degrees. It was cool. And then on Friday night, they do this thing called Hopper Ball, which is like pretty awesome. It's like help get, I guess, newer people, like people moving from red ball to speedball. They do this thing called Hopper Ball. It's 50 American, unlimited paintball for 2 hours.
Oh wow!
First 10 on the field play, And towards 8 o'clock when it got dark, they ended up throwing on the glow in the dark lights. So they ended up
nice.
playing glow in the dark paintball for like an hour, and it was cool because like in the dark you don't really see anyone. So they had like these little covers that went on top of your hopper, like a rubber like it was like literally went right on top of the whole hopper, and it was what's it called? It was like glow in the dark, and then after like they gave us like referee jerseys, so it was pretty cool. You were shooting, let's say like 10 balls a second, and you saw like it looked like a laser beam. It was the funnest thing ever.
That's badass.
No, I was there a week before Hardpoint, so like that's what we got. Like we're organizing our things, right? You would imagine like 2 months prior going, like you're trying to get flight done, everything, and these guys, it's kind of like the new year, so like they haven't really sent out the schedule yet. It's like we're doing our stuff in December. They kind of send out the schedule in January, so it ended up happening that they had the hard point the week after, and then the week before we're like, oh fuck, that kind of sucks. We're on the hard point, but in the long run, most of us, like, we all agree, we think it ended up working out for the better because they have a pro team there as well. So like we ended up having more time to like talk with the guys like Cyrus, Colt, Lucal, like all the guys on the pro team. Whereas like if it would have been the hard point weekend, they would have been like busy, managing the field, reffing, all that stuff. So you wouldn't have like that 20 minutes to talk to the guys.
That's awesome.
Get like their insight of like how it is to be at the field 3 times a week. Really putting that like passion to a different level. Like you got to do it. And then what was even cool about the weekend that we went, they had, so like again, like when I say it's like a paintball mecca, like I really mean it. They had a semi-pro team, a pro team in Europe, and when they play here, they play semi-pro coming at you. And then they even had Canadian Sea Dogs team, Kitchener Sea Dogs, come down. So when we were like on Saturday, when we were playing a bit, practicing with the Hydra kids, I'm not even gonna get to that after. So when we were taking breaks, we got to go to like the field where the pros were practicing. So like even when you're taking breaks, you got to see like some crazy paintball. Like you saw like the skill level. You're like, wow, this is sick. Just that. So the vibe was pretty awesome, and then even like the Sea Dogs are Canadian guys too. So you're vibing, and
that's awesome.
You're there. You're like, we lost the Olympics, but go Canada. Like the same day, right? So like it was kind of funny. Like, and it was even what made it even funnier that morning was everyone was scheduled to start at 9, and they have a TV outside like the main entrance with like a little like patio set and everything.
Mhm.
Sort of got no one was playing paintball. Like everyone was just watching the game, and then it went into OT, and it was like around 9:30, 9:45, and I was like, okay, it's getting a bit past due. Let's start playing paintball, and then after you heard and then you see the Americans won, and you're like, damn,
awesome.
Like, fuck.
Thanks for ripping my heart out again, Mikey.
At the same time. Fun game.
Explore Paintball's got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Mikey. He wants to
By
know.
the way, hi to Explore and hi to Mario listening live.
Chris wants to know how you feel about pros going to a 5-pod limit.
I know you guys hear me. I'm gonna leave. Come back in.
Oh,
okay.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties here.
I'm gonna throw up some pictures, some photos of Mikey on the.
Yeah, those of you listening on Discord, we like that. I hope it's the way you start your Monday morning because you can't wait to see the new one. Look at these pictures. Nice and warm down there. If you watch the YouTube version on a myriad of places, 2 different YouTube channels and such.
Can you hear us now, Mikey?
Some great pictures.
Okay.
Cool. We're just throwing up some pictures of you.
Yeah, I know. I went on a bit of a rant before. I was wondering why I was so silent. I was like, man, I really got these people captured or what?
No, we could hear you for sure.
You've never listened to the podcast? All I do is fucking babble for an hour. Christ, do to work for me.
Guys,
Connor's medicated me tonight, so I'm okay.
But yeah, no, I saw the comment about the 5 pods. I think it's gonna be interesting. The only thing that I don't know, I wish they kind of did it in divisionals too. It would have been kind of interesting, but we'll see what happens. Already they play with limited paint in Europe, so I don't know. We'll see. You're definitely gonna see a lot cleaner reloads. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like those little clips. Sometimes you see like they're playing in the rain. They have the railing on and they dump it, and all the paint ends up on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're gonna see that a lot less.
Yep,
Is
people are
that-
gonna be a lot more careful.
So it doesn't concern you with your style, or is that like it depends? It's situationals. I mean, you
So-
must play some games where you are just like, I'm on my last whatever, or
So,
is that
like,
your style?
I guess like so when we're like again like Friday night at PB Fit, so it all depends. Like Friday night PB Fit, we're playing hopper ball. So what you have in your hopper, and then after that you're picking up balls from the floor, you know. And then so like then on Saturday we're playing the Hydra kids, and like fuck like they could play paints, you know. They can play paintball, so they're fucking good. Shout out to them. And what was cool is that we had a private field to practice with them. So shout out to again
Ooh.
Paintball Fit and the Hydra people and the Hydra guys and the kids and all that good stuff. But yeah, that being said, like even Saturday we're playing in the morning, we're playing regular points, and then come the afternoon we're like, okay guys, let's run limited paint, because at the same time, you know, we had the X ball come the next day, and come X ball, you know, you're going to be playing a lot of paint, like you're going to be shooting a lot of paintballs because you're just playing games and games and games because it's more time rather than point based. So like towards the end of the day, we started playing like 4 pods, and then with the Hydra kids, and then from 4 pods we went down to like 2, and then we started playing hopper ball the last 2-3 points. So it all depends. But in tournaments, like when you're playing and even in tournaments it varies, right? So most of the time I'm going to say X ball, like you'll see your back players go in with 12 pods sometimes, especially if you're playing
Wow.
you know what I mean? Especially if you're playing defensively where you're just trying to burn time. Like you're just locking down the field and like you're shooting, right? But like let's say you're trying to run something more aggressive, you know, you'll have your front players like run 2 pods, you know, sometimes even just like a hopper and a pod. Like they're not meant to stay alive for more than 30
Right.
seconds, you know?
Yeah.
So like it does change and it does vary. And like let's say the style that we play at, like divisionally. But then there's even things like I think in North Carolina you have this thing called the CFOA Blitz, and it's whoever scores more points in 5 minutes. You know, it doesn't matter if you beat this team. You play like I think 4 games or 4 teams. Sorry, so 4 games, and 4 games at 5 minutes. And it doesn't matter if you win or like I might be mistaken on this. So like don't take
it lightly.
Wrong, but the concept is there. You know, it's whoever scores more points within 5 minutes. It doesn't matter if you win the game or not. You know, within those 4 games, you just got to score points. So it's not about being defensive. It's just ultra aggressive, and you're just running games. So, points. So, like, it really all depends what you're playing. And then there's like 10-man mechanical, where it's like you'll still run a lot of paint, but you're not shooting fast. But it's because the paints are like the points are like 15. The games are like 15 minutes long. You know, 15.
Right.
But it's like, you know, like you'll end up passing that paint.
You know what I just learned from Mikey? Mikey described players that are meant to die from the start as frontline players. Gentlemen, I am a frontline player.
I like to call them entry fraggers.
Well,
That's what I call them.
They get all the kills too, right? Like even so, I play.
Oh, okay, then I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Like I play a lot of times, like the 2 or the 3. So like you're there trying to like support them, you know. But and it gets fun with the air balloons too, because there's even like bounce shots sometimes, you know, and like you can get creative sometimes, like even what's it called? So like anyways, long story short, once I was in the middle of the field and there was a guy in like the corner. I was trying to get shots off the net. So I was shooting the net, and then the paintballs were bouncing towards him. And like it spooked him enough where he tucked in, and my front player, the guy like who gets all the kills, was able to do his job, you know.
Oh,
so
no shit.
That's wild.
So does that count though if it bounces off and breaks on him?
Yeah. So there's like so it's funny. So like now you see people have a lot more cameras and stuff because you know just the way it is technology, and like sometimes you'll see like a ball just fucking bounce off the turf, and then just hit the top of the hopper and break.
No.
You'll be like, where did
that's fucking wicked.
Yeah, like sometimes you're behind something and like you hear like a ding, you know, like it hit your tank, but like you're fully like covered. You're like, what?
That's fucking wicked.
You're like, did the guy sneak up on me somewhere? You know, because it's very fast paced. So you just get off the field, but you're just like, how did that happen? And like that's where like practice comes in. You know, putting like let's say a layout comes out, there's like bounce shots and it
Yeah, new
Yeah, I
angles.
never
and
thought
shit.
of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never thought of that. That's cool.
Yeah,
But-
a lot of practice goes into every time a new layout comes out.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like it's just like a totally new game to me. On the outer side, it's just like it's just they're moving a few bunkers around, but to you, that's
No.
like the whole map. Like that's it. That's like the whole field. It's sick.
Yeah, it would like it definitely changes like even the play style of the field. Like if you have a lot of lanes, let's say on the Dorito side, like a lot of open lanes, you'll tend to push the snake side a bit more. So it starts becoming like a snake heavy field. So and then so it's like a lot more I don't know, yeah, just snake heavy field and then it ends up happening. The guy who ends up getting into the D side ends up being the winner of that game. Like it's a heavy snake field, but it's like once you break that D side, you'll be able to like push up the field. Like I'm not just giving a generic like example. It's not always that, but just it's fun. Like just to like you said, you move one or two bunkers and it just changes the whole concept, right?
Wicked.
Oh, by the way,
go ahead.
We're 21 minutes in. Mikey, we should have asked you to explain how long you've been playing, maybe when you got into speedball. Were you a recball player first and what your team do? If you want to plug your team, if you're upset with them, you don't have to plug them, but
Screw those guys, man.
Screw them.
No. Shout out to Ronan, my boys.
Nice.
Yeah, day ones. But no, for real. I guess it was like a needle and a drug for me. Paintball. Like I played it when I was younger. The whole classic. You're 14, 12 years old. You play it. You can get a job at the grocery store next door, but like commuting to a field 50 minutes away, not really ideal, right? So especially like asking your parents, say, hey, drive me there 50 minutes, drive bac, and then
pick
drive
me
back,
up all
paint
covered in your car. Yeah.
Like what? And then and I even experienced it with snowboarding. That luckily I had a friend whose grandparents lived close to the field the hill that we used to snowboard on, where we would take the train on Friday night. You know what I mean? So like paintball, I didn't have that privilege. So like once I tried it again, like I went for a buddy's birthday. So like I did a couple of birthdays when I was a teenager. Always I bought a Timmin 98, put a D trigger on it, like geeked out a bit. And then just kind of went cold because of the whole spiel I mentioned. And then I went for a buddy's birthday, I think 28 years old. So like 2-3 years ago, not even. And it was like, again, I guess I relapsed, straight up, like relapsed, started rabbit hole on Facebook, YouTube, looking for paintball groups, is that the other, got in touch with C1D, played a day with Mike, Nick, a couple of the guys, then came out to Warzone, vibed a bit. And then I had my buddy James that we both were down to like see what speedball was. When they were at Action 500 and the Stewart brothers, shout out to Stewart brothers, they came up to us. They're like, "Oh, you guys look cool, like yeah. You guys look nerdy with your fucking colorful clothes, like look tactical. You guys want to try speedball?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's try it." And then that was like, I guess another drug, right? So. Went from cocaine to crack cocaine. Yeah.
No, you went to something more expensive. You went from crack to the good stuff. By the way, is it your friend? Speaking of names and that, who brings a guy named Detroit sometimes?
That's Mikey.
That's Mikey. Okay. Who's Detroit? And it's like Detroit. Like what? Goes, Detroit. And I said, what, the fucking city? Like, what? Like, don't you know Detroit? Some guy Mikey brought. I don't fucking know Mikey brought. Like, I remember his name.
It's a good dude. Yeah, a good dude right there.
My boy for a long time, since like high school, pretty much been my boy for a minute, and he's just like one of those friends that he'll come play racquetball with you a couple times a year. I try to get him to the speedball field, and he's like, nah. He's like, I'll play in the woods sometimes, rip the shit, and just have a good time. And I'm like, yo, it's all about having fun, right? And that's what it's all about. So it's awesome when he comes. And
look, Connor, when the weather gets better, you got to go out and practice. Remember, you're going to do practice with Mikey last fall, but you had the toe incident, the tincident. Oh, no. And Now you got yourself your own speedball marker, and when you're done school on that, we'll get you some cleats, and we'll get you a $75 headband. And
it's required, apparently.
It's required in a JT Proflex, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
That's mandatory on the Ronin, yeah.
No choice, man.
But
Coded.
What's your position on your team? And I would assume you all have versatility because you got to mix it up, especially when you're playing against teams that know you. But what's if you went out there on an ideal situation, and use layman's terms because I don't know much about speedball. Say if you walked out on a field and you said, Andrew, I'm gonna kick ass in this one. What is your ideal setup? And maybe on the flip side, what's
like
the most challenging?
Side, Dorito side type of like language.
Yeah, like what's your thing? You want to be the midfield. You don't want to be one of those guys that runs there and gets killed. I mean, does it depend on the type of day? Is it versatile within your team? What are the team dynamics normally like that?
So
maybe that's
what happens a lot within our team. So like when we're in Texas, it's hard to get everyone with your core team, right? You're 7 guys. Who's got time, like even financially, it's you're going on vacation, So what was cool about Texas, like we're a couple teams, we're a mix. So that was fun because we're playing a bit of everywhere, like some guys, your position overlaps, and like even for me, my position, one of the guys overlapped, and he's just more of a vet. He's been playing longer than me, and he's just better at the position than me. So for myself, like even in my team, so what kind of helped for Texas is that I'll either play the snake 2, so the back snake, or I'll play the joker. So like the joker is basically you'll play home, so not really a home player, but usually when you're playing jokers, you're playing a very aggressive, let's say, strategy. So you're kind of going into the mentality that you're going to start the game with 4 people. So the home player, he's going to fill in on whichever side that guy dies. So then you'll end up being the 2 either on the Dorito side or the 2 on the snake side. So it's like, so I'll play that. And then sometimes I'll play home. So like it all depends. Like I usually kind of become that like versatile player within my guys, with the Ronin guys, depending like who's available for the tournament, like who has a wedding. Okay, so I'll take his wedding.
Yeah.
So like I usually play like very versatile. The only play, like I won't play the fronts though. Like for that, I'm too much of a big back.
Okay.
Trying to like work out though and get there.
Do you have that picture? Do you have the picture of Mr. Ruthless Mikey after he pops me in the side of the head? It wasn't, but I'm just going to make the story that much better. I'm on my back because it's kill confirmed. He's in the picture. If you're not watching, if you're listening on Discord, I'm on my back with my arm in the air. It's very cold on the ground. I've already got arthritis issues. Son of a bitch. Mikey is just waiting there, looking down, and he's just swabbing his barrel, using me as a meat shield, using me as bait. He's not even looking up, and he's just getting ready for the next one. And it's funny because this picture was posted up, and I just kind of see Mike in the corner. I see myself on my back, and I go, "Yeah, it's me. Am I looking like a fool on my ass?" No, it's like, yeah, look at Mikey. He's like ruthless. He just shoots you. He cleans his barrel and waits for the next one.
He's not even hiding.
He's not even.
He's just standing out in the middle of the field, like, "Yep, got him." Next.
Yeah, and I guess that's where I use that a lot to my advantages in speedball. It's like dead zones.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of like the bunkers, they'll cover angles. Like you won't be behind a bunker, but like you kind of run there for half a second, do a certain thing, and then like buzz off,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things, and it's also like controlled chaos, like I'm so used to like sometimes when you get into the back snake, it's and the back snake is like the most wide bunker, and like you could really get dominance and make your snake player do a lot of work.
Nice pictures.
People are gonna dump paint on you. So like I'm used to sometimes getting like behind a small ass fucking air balloon and having like 3 guys just railing my bunker, you know, and you just gotta stand there comfortably, just getting 30 balls a second hitting your bunker. You're just talking to your boys, you know. You're just screaming to your buddy. You're like, "Yo, George, are you still alive?" And he's just, "Yeah, I'm still alive." And you're just telling him straight. You're like, "Yo, you're on your own, but like I got 3 guns on me." But like even the signal of me saying you got 3 guns on me, I got 3 guns on me means that like, you know, you got an opportunity to like make a move now, because if there's 3 guns on me, that means there's 2 guys that are not shooting at our teammates.
Exactly.
So what's going on. So like if I could relay that information to him, to like the guys on the left, etc., etc., etc. It also depends like the scenario. If it's just me and my buddy and it's 4-on-2, you know, and like we're kind of winning the X ball game, like we're saying 2-0 and we're just trying to burn time. It's like, well, you're shit out of luck. Like really, you're just gonna get shot on, and you know, hopefully you could hopefully the other team makes a mistake and like you optimize on it and you could build off that, you know. But if the other team like plays their strategy right on a 4-on-2, like you're eating shit. So it gets fun. Like you end up getting into like, that's why like you see me so calm sometimes in rec ball, because like sometimes you're just so much in the juice. Like you're 5-on-1, like, and that happens to me a lot as a back player. Like you're just 5-on-1 and you're just like, either the guy's gonna be in my face shooting me 5 to 6 times, or he's gonna be behind me shooting me 5-6 times, even more, you know. So so it's like, as you anticipate, like, and getting stressed out and thinking about that is worse, right? Because then you can't capitalize on mistakes. So you end up just learning to be calm, and like you'll know you'll be fine at the end of it, you know. It is what it is.
Well, I got this picture right here I want to throw up just so you don't forget where you came from. I don't have one from when you were 12 years old. That's not it. There it is.
Yeah, that's my buddy Detroit right there.
Yeah. And I want to say that you had a custom 98. Maybe you had gotten rid of that at that point.
No, that was the custom 98 I geeked on when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I thought that was really cool. And it was really cool to watch. I was just talking to Miranda about this. I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday. It's like, oh, Mikey's going to be on the show. And it was cool that how quick you evolved, you know, because I was like, you showed up. We met at Army Globe, and, you know, you were just black sweatpants. You had just a black mask, and you had your custom 98 you told me that you had for like 15 years. And I was like, all right, sweet, you know, and then we started going to Capital Combat Zone and stuff. But to see you like evolve like that so quick, and now you're just a hardcore speedball player. Well, you can do anything, because you tone it down when you come play with us, and you bring a pump and stuff, and you're an assassin with that thing. So yeah, it's sweet to watch how quick you evolve. And like, because if I was to have just meet you now and like see the media and see you play and stuff, I'd be like, man, this guy's been playing for 10 years. Even if I just looked at your mask collection and your bandana collection, I'd be like, yeah, this guy's been collecting this shit for 20 years. Like,
I sold a lot of them, man. I sold a lot. I moved out of my parents' house, and like mid move, I was just like, where the fuck? Sorry, my line. Where the fuck?
No, it's we drop it all the time here. Don't worry.
Yeah, I was like, where the fuck I'm gonna put it? It wasn't even like anything else. I was just like, these things are made in such a way where they take up so much. They're like, you can't, or like paintball gear in general, I find it just doesn't pack well, you know. And it triggers my OCD, because even in my bag, it's like 3 years I've been playing paintball, and I still can't figure out like an optimized way to like organize my bag where I know I'm getting 100% from the space, you know. Just like the tank being round, there's like gaps. I'm just like, what can I put there? You know, there's so many soft goods I could bring.
I got a
That's
question.
why I really like the hard cases that I have. It just makes organizing everything's square. It just makes everything so much easier, and I can put a thing of foam over it.
There's space, you know.
Yeah, the space. I can put something here.
Like, so for me, it's, I don't know, paintball gear it's funny for that. But anyways, so yeah, I ended up like keeping my really simple ones, and I still bought some pieces from Mike, but very like selective at this point, you know. Like the pieces I bought from Mike, they're like a re-edition of like these OG parts, and like the mounts. So I was like, God forbid the ones I have, like they break or whatever, at least have a spare, or there's even like a mask I want to build with them. So I'll have a spare and I'll have an extra mask, so it doesn't hurt me.
Nice.
But like I'm down from like 30 masks to 10. So
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
damn.
so
Okay.
Proud of you, buddy.
30,
I know,
Micah.
me too, man.
Until
But
the next round releases, yeah.
I transferred those funds into a paintball net, so
Yeah, I got a noob question for you. What's the regulation? You're going to a tournament. What's the regulation on weather? Like, as long as there's no thunder, if it happens to just have a freak snowstorm, like, look at this. Monday in Montreal, it was plus 13. There was no snow anywhere. Now we're getting about 40 centimeters of snow by next weekend. What is the rule on weather for tournaments?
you're playing.
You're playing unless it's lightning, I would imagine.
You're
See,
playing.
You're playing.
You're
Oh,
playing.
shit.
Yeah, playing.
How much of this marker
Like,
is
you
steel?
know what? Like, if it's really, really bad, maybe they'll pause it, but like they'll take a break for like an hour
Mhm.
and wait. But I think it was like first event of like last year. It was this time like maybe beginning of April, mid-April. It was like
Mhm.
really cold rain. It was like 5 degrees and
Oh,
it wasn't like lightning or anything, but it was like it was
Miserable.
rain, like you didn't like you played for 2 minutes and you were drenched kind of thing, like there's puddles on the turf. You're like wherever you were sliding, the turf kind of formed a thing, so you're always sliding into like a puddle of disgusting painty water. So like yeah, like you end up playing in sometimes some nasty conditions. And then I know even Florida, it's like a ranch. Like they end up moving like so like they have like cows in a section and then like they take the cows out and like the rest of the field they'll like build the paintball fields on them. But like this year it was like so like I ended up playing in Florida in November. It was like just so dry and sandy that when you took your mask off, you had like just like
oh yeah, like the soldiers get.
goggles,
Yeah.
right? So, like this would be like all white, and then your whole face was like sandy,
Oh, yeah.
like brownish. So it's like sometimes like it does get rough out there, especially like the front guys. They're always like diving, and yeah, I feel for some people for sure.
What was that famous story of D-Day 2024, which was Mikey's first with us? And on the Saturday, didn't you guys have a mini tournament at Commando Action? You went there to practice.
I went there to
practice all frickin' day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brutally freaking hot.
So
Yeah.
hot.
And last year we wore our hoodies. It's like we're getting ready to play. It's like I ain't putting my jersey on. It's too damn cold a year later.
Hopefully we get a happy medium this year. I would like a happy medium right in between both years.
Well, how's the weather looking?
That's way too far ahead.
That's way too. Yeah, but but
No,
normally,
I'm saying, like,
normally June is hot as hell, though. Usually, Connor, D-Day weekend is usually it's hot.
Usually.
I mean, yeah, I got sunstroke my first time I was there, or a light case of it. I had to sit off for a good 45
That's a
minutes.
good lead segue into a question kind of that makes me wonder, that I'm kind of wondering about. Because I've only tried speedball once and it was terrible. I had a Delta Elite with the airline, and the first time I ran up to the first bunker, my airline was off, so I was like, and nothing happened. So that was my speedball experience. But anyway, playing speedball like all the time, like you practice and do tournaments and all that stuff. And when you bring that into a big game like D-Day, what's that like? Like, what do you bring from speedball? Because like we play recball and woodsball, so we bring everything that we, you know what I mean, as far as our skill level. Like we bring all that because that's what we do. But like in speedball, oh, did we lose him?
I think we just lost the light.
You were cooking too. You had a good
You're
question.
cooking.
I was
shit.
cooking.
I know your memory. Hold on to that thought.
I'm gonna start stuttering when he gets back.
Yeah, we also got to make sure because we called him our artillery. So
There we
when he
go.
brings people from his team, there we go. Mikey's back with that. So Mike,
Yeah,
What
so-
do we bring?
what do you bring?
Like, as
Yeah.
far as skill wise and what you bring
Alcohol.
from. Yeah, no. Yeah.
We know that.
All right, Nevin. All right.
For us, so like for you guys, I guess like a big game is, well, even like with me with C1D, like obviously I want us to win the scenario.
Mhm.
Like when you're constantly like playing speedball, competing, this, that, the other, like a big game just comes down to just having like just a good time, I guess.
Having
like
fun, yeah.
Like getting ripped on, pushing so much to the front. Sometimes you're just like, damn, there's like 40 people shooting the shit out of this truck. Like, why did I come here? And you're like, no one's coming to help you, and you're just like, and then you're just like, even when I die and I run out of this thing, I'm getting shot on. So like big games kind of get fun in that retrospect, and it kind of like happens the inverse. You get to like shoot that one guy who makes that big mistake, and then everyone just laughs at the time. But yeah, no, like, so we just, I guess, bring some beer, have a good time. It's for us a lot of the time we use like as a team building experience. So it's like us every Saturday, you're there.
Hell yeah.
Good time with guys and all that stuff, and even with the big game, we're just there to have a good time and just have fun.
I call you and whoever you bring are artillery, and it's true.
Yeah.
Especially along the tree lines. You guys get narrow there and just throw hell at the enemy. I love it.
Well, that's kind of where like the whole speedball concept comes in, right? Because if you get wide and you could push from the outside, right, you could always just shoot inside and get more kills. So if you get like 2-3 guys stacked, one by the other, and the front guy just looks inside, and the two guys try to just get dominance, and you're throwing a lot of paint, but you have dominance on that zone. So the guy in front can make another push forward, get some more kills, and rinse and repeat. It's a very simple tactic, but it just works. So
I like when we did Operation Rush to the end of 2024. Connor just ran the shield, and there was two guys that were playing a Mirabelle. One of them was Donut. I forget the other one, but Connor's just got the shield, and these speedballers are just balls to the wall, crawling. Connor's acting like the shield, and they're just firing like crazy. And just and at the start of the second half, they were going to run in. Connor was going to go with them, and it's like, man, to be young again, be able to freaking run in like that. Yeah, the guys in the purple. We actually saw them at D-Day. They were playing against us last year.
Really?
Yeah. And I said, I swear to God, I saw Donut. I'm telling Connor Millfield, Donut. It's like,
That's
but
funny.
No, big game speedballers. And even if guys just have speedball markers and they come out 2 or 3 times a year, man, you grab them, get them involved in it. They're our artillery. That's what it's all about. So when is your first tournament this year, by the way? When is your first tournament? I know that was just a trip and a fancy practice in Texas.
a very good question, Andrew.
I only asked them.
Honestly, I don't even know. And I think this year it's going to be a bit more of like a different approach for me. I know last year, I was at a tournament and got pretty heated. Like, I got pretty heated in general. And I was like, I'm not here to play paintball like that. So, like,
I get that.
So I was like, this year, like, I'm not like if a tournament comes up and the boys are down, like last minute, and we say and we can get something going, I'm in, but I'm not gonna like be there and be like, hey, our team has to be there for every tournament this season, and then all this, the other, and like even if I have other like teams ask me to like guest for them, go to Connecticut and all that stuff, I'm kind of more in the vibe to travel this year and like see other fields and see the season there.
You got options. You can call on your own terms. There's nothing wrong with that, kid.
Yeah, and what's even cool about like my OG group of guys is, like we don't mind if you go play a tournament here or there with other guys, and like we don't care, just have fun, and as long as like we say, you respect the group, you're not a dick, like
yeah,
be a dick.
Yeah,
you know that phrase all too well.
Just don't be. And then
Nasty Boys down at Capital Combat Zone have a tight little speedball squad going now.
No, but like see, like even here, like a lot of guys are like, oh, like if you're part of our squad, like it gets pretty, I guess, not
protective,
deep, but like not deep, but I say this, people get very like prideful in their teams, which I can respect it. Like I've been like that too for a hot minute, but I don't know.
Connor, do you have a
life coming? You know what I mean? So
no, you're playing the game on your own terms. It's still a fun hobby to you, and that's great. That's why you're such a positive force.
it was going to Paintball Fit, and we're going to World Cup in September. Like, just it like put a lot bigger perspective. I was like, yo, there's so much more to this game. There's so much possibilities and so much other fun, you know. And it's not like it's cheap, and it's not like I'm like pretty cheap about it, you know. Like,
Yeah.
So just there, and I'm like, all I just gotta do is move some funds, and I'm sure I could have more fun. So like, I'd rather just have that approach. And like, cause I was there in Texas, and like Sunday was just like a practice day for them, and like there was more teams there on a practice day than there is here like on an official tournament, you know. And
No way.
And
Wow.
and it's like, not to be sour, but like always playing the same guys. It's like, it's not the same,
No,
you know, like,
I get it.
it's there's something about like being with your boys, because like even the scene is really small here, so you know, like even like I'll shout out like Tifuzi or like the Sierra Crew or whatever, like and even like some of the guys from the Northeast, like that's what happened with Texas. Like it's a very niche sport, we're all chill with each other, but there's something about going somewhere somewhere else that you're really chill with, and you don't really know some people there, and like you just win and you dominate. You're like, yeah, we're the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but so like that's like I had a good time doing that, and if I could like kind of even replicate that, and you know what, like even at that, it's playing the day, you know, and then going back to the Airbnb, just having some pizza, talking about the day, chilling with the boys. It's fun, you know. So definitely like this year, that's the goal more. Just to
You gotta do bowling for boobies with us. You gotta come
100%.
down. We'll try to get that same place, the bed and breakfast there up above the golf course. It was wild. That way you'll fit in great.
Golf carts are so
I
much
was
fun.
a bit lame not coming, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think you'd get along with the they were formerly known as the Upstate Underdogs, I believe. But yeah, they're killing it down there, and they have a tight knit squad, and I think you'd have fun playing with them if we go down. Connor'd go out and play, I'm sure, a game, and we'd even get Andrew out there, I bet.
Well, good news ball markers. You don't have to use your Delta.
There you go.
Connor, do you have any questions for Mikey? You've been just sitting here nodding. He's kind of like the hot chick at the end of the couch there, just welcoming.
Hey.
Yeah. No, I have a few questions for him.
There we go.
So, guys, my knowledge on paintball in general, like in terms of like what goes on YouTube and what companies releasing what, is very, very limited already. And so speedball, I literally know like nothing at all. So a lot of this is so new to me. So I've just been listening very intently. But I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So way back when, I used to play like a game on console pretty like competitively, like in tournaments. So not in the ranked mode, but like organized tournaments online and stuff when we played. And because the company acts like the pro scene on console and moved it only to PC, the tournament scene was very like crazy. That in a 16-team tournament with a round robin and stuff, like this level of skill between the top teams and the bottom teams was like insane, where it felt like the first 6 games of the tournament, it's like you didn't even have to try, and it's like, okay, now we're against whatever, like really good players. And you know, so I was wondering if with speedball, whether it's sort of like that in tournaments, or if it's more like the NHL, where it's like, you know, if you take it easy on the Chicago Blackhawks, you know, there's still an NHL team that can kind of still kick your butt at the end of the day or something. I know you're saying you're looking to take tournaments more, you know, a little relaxed, but
so like they have divisions, right? So the best, I heard people say, like, I don't know if this is true, right? So it's a bit of hearsay on my end. Like it's very comparable to the chess ranking system. So like, yeah, you know, like there is like any pro league, you know, you got teams that are stronger than other teams, who's more resources, who's got more foundation, right? Et cetera, a bit better business decisions, you know, the whole spiel, who's got more money, all that good stuff. But like, again, you know, this year I mentioned like there's a 5-pod limit, so it's gonna be fun seeing like what happens this year. We'll see. But what's kind of cool with the divisionals is that, you know, to jump from D5 to D4, and like you gotta play Like you got to win some tournaments. You know, like D5 to D4 is probably the easiest jump, and then apparently D4 to D3 is the hardest one. People say, or even D3 to D2. But you know, like as you get better and your team gets better, and you progress in tournaments and you play tournaments, you'll like rank up. You know, it's called pbleagues.com. So kind of like esports, right? You know, back in the day.
Yeah.
What COD 4 on PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't remember that right? But yeah,
COD 4. That was
yeah,
an actual good one.
so, like, PB leagues and all that stuff. But yeah, like I gotta say the divisional ranking system, it's good, but it has its flaws. I think like any other system, you know, because if you don't play for 2-3 years, you get re-ranked. But you know, if you're a 10-year veteran, you know, sandbagging on guys playing 2 years, you know, let's say you just played on Sundays, but you never played a tournament, you're still fresh, right? But I don't know. Depends your outlook, you know. Some say sandbagging is not a crime, so.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Potential controversy there.
Yeah.
But you can't take your foot. Generally, I mean, I'm sure there's some team. Look, it just like any sport, in any game, there's been times where you guys go out there, you know you should win, but you take it for granted, and you know what happens? It slips away from you, and it's always a good wake-up call. That's for sure.
That's what happened to us last tournament.
Oh!
You know, like any game, you know, there's certain calls maybe you don't agree with, this, that, the other. You know, there's always 3 teams on the field. It's you, the other team, and Team Zebra. So,
What's the ref setup in Spain? How many refs are on the field? I don't want to get too long. We're already 50 minutes into this. But
8 to 10, you know, like
wow.
Yeah, you have
there's a lot to keep
all
an
the
eye
angles.
on,
All
a
the
lot
angles.
of shit happening.
Yeah, so like you'll have maybe like sometimes it depends the setup, how many refs you have, how many teams are in. Like if you have more teams and a lot more of a, like I guess a bucket of money, you could probably get a bit more refs. But like you'll usually see like maybe 6 to 8 on the field, one on each corner and one in the middle, on each side, and then maybe they'll have like a head ref and a scorekeeper on top. So you're like at 8, and then you could maybe have 8 on the field and 2 up top, so you're at 10. So there's
a lot of eyes.
Yeah, so but like I was saying, like last tournament, you didn't really agree with some calls, and then you know starts getting in your head in the pits when one person says, "Oh fuck these guys, they're against us." That was our point. This, that, the other, and then it steamrolls really quickly from there, right? So that scenario definitely does happen, you know. And it's about experience even on that front, you know. Like us, like even me, like. I was kind of getting in my head, and I was there. I'm like, yo, like 2 years I'm playing like competitively per se, and it's kind of where I saw like maybe that's what I could improve on. So maybe that's like maybe my approach for this year too.
There you go. Always learning.
I have two more quick questions.
That's okay. We'll do those 2 questions, then we'll start wrapping up the show. I have a special game to present to you guys, and I need to hear your opinion. So we'll get these 2 questions. I've been stewing this one too.
Okay. So, you know, you mentioned a little bit how you got into speedball, that, you know, you and James like wanted to check it out and stuff. You know,
shout out James.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Did I pour my beer on the ground for him? Is that a bit for him there?
That's my boy.
Is that, you know, I feel like whenever you're getting to any sport, like the hardest thing to do is like, you know, starting it and like taking that step to, you know, get all the equipment and also figure out what to do, right? Like imagine you're playing hockey all your life and you get to the age where it's like, okay, there's no more, you know, the youth leagues and whatever. You got to start playing beer league. But it's like getting into that's completely different because it's not organized by like, you know, City of Montreal or whatever. It's now this. So my question is like, if somebody's listening to this and like, you know, they're so interested in speedball, but they're like, it's not that they're afraid to take the step, but it's like, what do I do? Like, where do I go? Who do I contact? What should I get to start? Like, imagine they're like me and my dad where we have nothing. Like, what's like the basic stuff?
So I guess this is like, I approach this more with like, so I guess like life wisdom per se, you know, because that's kind of what I went into it, and it was kind of what I read in the Reddits, you know, and I guess getting older, you kind of see it with stuff, you know, the more you put yourself out there, the more likely something is bound to happen. So like what I was reading on the Reddits was people saying like, yo, just go play, and the community's cool. Like, yeah, you know, like anywhere, you know, you might get some bad apples, you know, whatever. But for the majority, people, they're cool, you know. Like, and I would even go like with that example for hockey. If you go to the pickup field at the park, you know, and you just go there consistently, you're bound to find someone, or like you're bound to get better, and then find someone who's going to give you some tips, and then you start meeting a bit more. So it's I guess goes with anything in life. Just put yourself out there, and then do your research for yourself. Try to get more than one opinion on certain things. You know, don't just listen to one person. You know, because maybe they're misinformed. Maybe their intentions are pure, but they could even be misinformed. So I guess that's just like, you could even carry that into speedball, right? And what's even cool, I'll even shout out Mirabel over here, one of the local fields.
Of course. Outstanding field.
Yeah, like what's cool is that on Saturdays they run like a beginner in the morning. So like guys like me, like they just say, oh, like you won't be allowed, you know. Usually like I'll be there on Saturday, we'll be playing recball, whatever, and you'll see it's usually a lot of the recball players that go try speedball out on the Saturday, and they'll know us, and then like most of the time they'll be like, okay, it's chill if like let's say Mikey or Hugo play with us, because we'll be the only like advanced players, but like we'll go on each other's side, and we're giving like cues
to help out,
help out, you know, like we're not like, we're there just to have, like, I guess again I say, a good time. And then Saturday you'll have some more advanced players come in on the afternoon, because they do beginner 9 to 12, and then if the beginners leave, usually the advanced players just like run practice drills, you know, just practice all that stuff. And then Sunday is more of like just the open, you come in first 5 on the star bunker play, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, just put yourself out there. That's what I would say. And people for the majority are pretty chill, you know.
There was, I know we're running quick on time, but the one time that I hung out on the speedball field at Capital Combat Zone, there was a ton of good players, people who played speedball a lot, but there was a lot of rec ball players. We all kind of mingled together, and Mikey was there, like the middle ground. He played some speedball, but everyone there was so chill. It was so easy to walk onto that field with a rec ball marker, dressed like a moron, and for them to be like, come play, like we'll give you a gun, we'll give you a marker, just come play. And we had so much fun. So like I think it would be real easy to get in there in that community, like you know, like you were saying, just put yourself out there, get on the field, just start playing, asking, because no one's gonna be like, no, you can't play with us. Like that's not gonna happen. So like, don't be scared about that.
Yeah, and if it does happen, it does happen. Like if there's like a tournament next week, you know, and like the week before, like they're running like practice.
Yeah, you're not gonna hop on.
You know, like you're not gonna, even you as like a person who's starting out, like it's probably not the best day to go, you know.
Yeah.
But if there's like a random Sunday, like the Sunday right after a tournament, you know, probably like the best time to go. You know, guys are just gonna be chilling. They're not there. Like people from opposite teams are gonna be having beers together. You know, like just chilling out.
Yeah,
it's cool about the local scene. So. And it's vice versa, you know. We dress up in colorful colors and we go in the wood and we have a hoot of a time, you know. Like maybe not me, I have like my like swaggy colors. I like to still like dress with my olives and all that good stuff. But, yeah, you know, it's just about having fun. We all bleed paintball at the end of the day, you know. And you know, you're never gonna grow the sport if there's gonna be a divide, right? So that's just my perspective on that.
Absolutely.
Connor, you had one more question to finish. An excellent answer. Connor's got one more. You wanted to end off with a good. It's a good. Okay, good. So this way, he officially ends on a good answer there.
Yeah. So I remember, like, you know, when I think of Michelangelo, you know, the great Renaissance man, one of his quotes that he told me or just said, I can't remember, not word for word, but he said, "Speedball's a game of cheaters" or something like that. So
you're not cheating, you're not trying, man.
Yeah,
that's probably.
I learned that quick in the speedball world.
So my idea is, it's like, you know, there's so many like sci-fi movies, blah blah. Trust me, this has a point. Star Wars, where like when they're training, they'll have like a suit on that if they get shot anywhere, it's like registered that this person's hit. And so what I'm thinking, in like however many years, 20, 30 years, like how much would speedball change if like this wiping is just eliminated, basically? Like you play it, I imagine you play it completely differently, right?
I like the way I look at it. So on Sundays, on scrim days, like when it's like amicably. People don't really cheat, you know, like from what I've kind of seen. Like, and when people cheat, like they get called out on the sidelines, and you know, like you're labeled as a dick, you know, like and like on a weekly basis, you're like labeled as like it'll happen the week after, and like let's say you wipe again, you hear like 2-3 guys inside be like, what a fucking dick, you know. So it's like if you want that reputation, yeah, do it on a Sunday. But I think it's like any competitive sport, right? When there's referees involved, you know, it's like I said, there's 3 teams. If you're willing to cheat and take that gamble, you know, it's like hockey. Like sometimes the guys, they play dirty, and you know, when they cross the line, they get penalized. But when they don't cross the line, you know, it could work to your advantage. So in my perspective, it's part of the game, you know, like it's part of just competitive games, you know. I guess maybe that's just because I grew up playing a lot of sports and organized sports, you know, getting tripped on, you know, covering your back for your goalie, you know, like I don't care what the repercussions are. You touch my goalie, like
are you a defenseman?
Yeah, like I'm pushing.
Connor was the defenseman too. You guys should talk.
So, and you know, like, and if it's a practice and we're doing like an exhibition, you're not gonna do that with the other team, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and usually it's like your own local teams, you know. So, the way I look at it, it's the nature of the game. And if you do get caught cheating, you know, like the penalties are pretty severe. So it's like a minor penalty. Like let's say you get shot on the pod pack. So it's anything an extension of you. So let's say you get shot on the pod pack and you don't feel it, and you continue playing on. The ref throws a minor. So that's takes you out and another player. So let's say you're playing 5v5, the game just turned into a 5v3. A 5v3 is opportunity for the other team to start making moves and win the game. So it's like you like subliminally, even if the player didn't want to cheat, you know, like they could kind of get screwed, and they could screw you. Like I've shot at my own teammate, you know, like like dead ass. Like I was behind him, you know, like I saw him get hit on the hopper, and then like I saw the referee running, you know, because like even the referee doesn't want to call the penalty. Like they're gonna come check, right? Like from the corner, I saw the referee coming.
Oh, intentionally you shot him.
I dead ass turned my gun to him.
Strats. Everybody listen.
That's good. That's smart.
Yeah, like I saw it, like, and I wasn't like 1-2, like I was generous. I'm like, yo, you get the fuck out now, you know.
Yeah.
And he was aware of that.
Like get out now. And then I even like did it on purpose to shoot where you got shot, you know. So I went like you're kind of covering a zone, so your gun's shooting 10 balls a second. You're you move the gun, even if you hold it there like a solid second or two, it's like you're shooting your own teammate 10 times. So so like it's like I find it's just part of the game, you know. Long story short, and if you cheat like really, really intentionally, you got like a major. So like it's you and 2 other teammates. So like it turns into like it's an automatic win.
And there's only 2 of you left. It's they just call the game even. Yeah. Okay.
So if you even get a major with a minute left, it's an automatic swing point, even at that point, right? So it's like like in my perspective, like the repercussions are severe, you know. So like, do I cheat? Have I cheated? I'll rephrase that. Do I cheat? Not really. Have I cheated? Yeah. You know, like I'll say it openly. You know, we were playing. We weren't playing X-ball. We were playing. I think it was round robin. So you're only playing the team once, and it was 6v1. So even if I got a penalty, the game's done. Like we don't get penalized.
Right.
So I dead ass. I kid you not. I got shot in the lens, and we're playing mounds. So like it was like. 3rd floor. I put my face in the dirt and I wiped it, and I continued playing. Like I personally don't know how I got away with it.
Yeah.
As I was ducking, I got shot, and it's like definitely a highlight in my eyes. Like I don't know how I got away with it, but I did, you know. And because like there was no repercussions, so I was like, you know, fuck it, why not? And so that's just my approach on it. But it's like anything, like even to double down on it. I know we're off for time, but I'll end it off with this. To double down on it. There's VAR now in soccer, right? So, you know, if these electronic suits do start capturing, but then after there's might be flaws, right? If there's splash. So
exactly.
So like
weather.
It's a give or take, but you know, back to the thing, you know, technology is kind of preventing cheating. You know, referees are there to prevent cheating. So it's kind of it's harder and harder. But I think I would say it's part of the game. You know, if you do it on like an amicable game, you're a dick. But if you're competing, you know.
Well, as a goalie who used to slash people just to get my name on the score sheet. Sometimes I get that. I was a mean freaking goalie to play against. And you mentioned before, and then, I'm slashing people behind the play, give them a little shot with the blocker, the old leather blocker too, on the back of the neck when you got a neck guard, and you smack the guy. And then you get in position to stop a shot and the guy slashes you. You go on the ice, and then my defensemen, Mikey and Connor are on the ice and just pound the shit out of the guy, even though I've been giving them a beating for the past 3 minutes.
Well, another saying I heard, and I like this one too, so everyone knows that if you're not cheating, you're not trying,
Yeah.
It's fun to say. But I heard another person say, if you continue to if you're constantly getting caught cheating, stop fucking cheating.
Yeah.
So
Simple as that.
Both ways,
Mm-hmm.
if you're jeopardizing your team, and you have a coach or even have the general team is gonna tell you to go after yourself, we're here to win, you're playing competitively. So I'll even add that to it, because maybe I might hurt some feelings. People are like, well, they cheat all the time. Is that the other?
We hurt a lot of feelings here.
I'll say that, if you keep getting caught cheating, stop fucking cheating.
Cheat better.
You're not good enough at it. You're not good enough at it.
We've just been forging our reputation at C1D of it's just a game for 10 years or going on 10 years, but that's okay. Mikey, this, by the way,
one podcast with Mikey. That's all you need.
That's all I need. You were actually on the 2024 wrap up of D-Day. You're on that one, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. And we definitely will have you back. I want to thank you, Mikey. We love having you out there just because, I always tell you, you're out here to slum it with us hackers again. And he just laughs, goes out there and slowly assassinates each one of us. And last year I had 2 or 3 times where I had a clean line of shot on you. And I literally start shaking like I might get Mikey. And it flies by. Remember the one I hit the tree and you just kind of just.
I was about to ask that. Did you ever review that footage?
Yeah, I hit the tree right in front of you. The fucking tree branch is 3 inches wide.
Because I feel like I wasn't, because I felt like I ended up walking back afterwards. And I didn't feel any pain, but I was just like,
no, I missed you.
Was I just so adrenaline up? I didn't feel it, But
you're in your zigzag there in the middle of the village, and you're kind of walking away from me. I practically saw your back, and my shots are just woof, 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 woof. Yeah. Then it's like, good one, hit the tree.
I remember because I was so surprised. I was like, "There's no way. There's absolutely no way." And just like experience playing speedball. There's times where guys are really in front with each other, 2 guns, and one guy doesn't get shot, and you're even looking at yourself, you're like, how the hell did I just not get shot right now? And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna.
That was my mistake, though.
Playing.
I had you lined up, and I had time, and I was just so excited that I'm not out there to hit anybody, but it's like, man, I could get a really good player here, and I just start boom, 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 boom. It's like, no, I should have went in. Wait, but anyway, I digress. Mikey, we love having you out there. We're gonna have you back on the show. Yes. You're gonna be in the snow next weekend.
Yeah, it's always fun playing.
Yeah, there we go.
I always make effort to come out.
There you go. We're gonna break the ice. You're gonna bring your dad out again?
He's in Florida.
Bring him in the summer, man. I love playing out there with him. That was a blast.
Yeah, he's killing it, man. He's really
good for him.
Happy for him. I feel like he deserves it. Even last summer, he was going out camping out of town often. He was doing what he loved. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nothing better than doing you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming out to the show, Connor and Mike. Thanks for I would say joining the party. It is your party. It's all our party here. Those who listened, I know we had Explore Paintball Chris, dedicated fan, with Mario as well, drop by, and some others. We're going to be talking actual paintball action from 2026 a week from now. I want to thank you for listening, and I want you to remember, hey, by the way, subscribe. It'd be nice. We got all kinds of things to subscribe to. Make it go away in 3 months, but give me an instant satisfaction. Yeah, there you go. In the window down. I actually did it. I actually asked for subscribes. There we go. All right, go out there, have fun. We're going out in the snow next weekend. Why? You never know when your last game of paintball is going to happen. Just go out there, have fun. Remember, at the end of the day, it is just a game.